What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino here with y'all on this Saturday night. Felt like it's been a while since I got with y'all, but I know it haven't. I know we did. I know we did one last week. Did we? But I know I didn't get with y'all last night. So we'll get it on tonight, man. So I'll wait a second and see who shows up. And then once we show up, we can blow up. Not literally, though. As you come in, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Um, Remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications, and that would make your big brother a very happy camper. I see a few of y'all creeping in. Click the like button as you come in, y'all. Some of y'all already know to do it. Shout out to the 6 people that that did it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all 6 of y'all. 7 now. But I want to try to get us on autopilot to where as soon as you come in, you click that like. Like clicking the like is just, it would be just like entering in the room. As soon as you come in, I'm in here like. I want to get us to that point. So yeah, if y'all haven't already, click the like. And you know what I want y'all to do too? Check your notifications randomly on my channel, because sometimes they'll unsubscribe people, sometimes they'll make it to where your notifications are not on. And I have wavered back and forth about the whole shadow banning conversation. First, I used to be like, yeah, they shadow banning, yeah. Then sometimes I'll be like, well, maybe they not. You know, maybe it's just a situation where it's some kind of glitch, or it's a situation where I need to get my grind on to make it pop a little better. You got to be real with yourself. But then I go back to the shadow banning, so I don't know. But either way, we'll control what we can control, and I can put a word out to make sure that you guys understand, the assignment as well, and we'll do it like that. Let's get into it. I couldn't be with y'all last night because got a shout out to my people in Austin, Texas. We had a great show in Austin last night, man. I mean, it was really, really dope, man. And I'm not talking about just from my point of view, from my participation in it. Of course, the people treated me great, as always, in Austin, magical places. But I want to shout out to all of the other groups that performed that night, last night, because they were like, man, it was just so up. And I was thinking last night while before I came on the stage, and I got a chance to check out some of the other groups that performed, artists that performed. Shout out to Tall Kyle. It was his album release. Shout out to Tall Kyle. Just dope. College of Hip Hop, dope. Space Goons. Those are the 3 that I saw. I didn't see anybody else. I saw those, and everybody was just hard, hard, hard. But I want to say something to Houston, because Houston, as far as rap goes in the state of Texas, I'm just talking about Texas right now. Houston was, is, and will always be that original city out of the state of Texas that got this rap thing popping, that put this rap scene on the map in this region. And all of the other great cities that came along after, whether it be Dallas, whether it be Austin, whether it be San Antonio, or there's different cities you can name. A lot of cities that have a strong history now and a great legacy now. Houston was the first, and Houston was the first city to have like um, artists to come out of the city to put the city on the map. When you're talking about Ghetto Boys, and then later on you're talking about South Park Coalition, Screwed Up Click, Swisher House, and then later on even some of our mainstream artists, like you can come all the way up to Travis Scott and Megan Thee Stallion, all these people who have contributed to the scene. Um, we can even throw our brothers UGK in that mix, even though they're from PA, but they they cut their teeth, in the city of Houston for business wise from a industry standpoint. But I'm saying all that to say this. Houston is behind in one aspect, and I know I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but I don't care. Um, when I was watching the show last night, I did not see one artist last night in Austin rapping over their vocals. Did not see one. Every group that got on that stage was rapping live, man. And shout out to whoever was responsible for the sound system last night, because the sound system last night was amazing. Just no complaints. Now, there was a technical issue with Tall Kyle's music as far as it wasn't playing. That was something with the DJ though. The DJ had an issue with Tall Kyle's set, and that happens sometimes. The music didn't play, and he was a true professional because he did exactly what I would have did. He just, I tell people all the time, man. I tell artists all the time, you can't always control what's gonna happen up there, and you rehearse and you work to have your set the way you want it to be, but sometimes stuff happens that's beyond your control. So the mic may be acting funny. Might be a good mic and a bad mic. You gotta switch and get the good mic. The music might be jacked up, staticking, too low, too high, might not play at all. So we've all been in those situations if you've been doing this long enough. But through whatever happens, the crowd is still right there. So I've seen artists that will start frowning up and flipping out and complaining and cussing out the people and going crazy. And nah, this dude did what I have done a million times. Other artists I've seen do. He just started improvising. And that's what you got to do. You got to improvise, because the crowd like this, like, I don't know nothing about the music, dude, but you hear now, and it's a tough spot to be in when it happens to you, because it's gonna happen. But when it happens, you got to be ready to still give a show. And he still gave a great show, still entertained the people while they were getting his stuff together, and that's what you got to do. But the point I'm making is that all of those guys in such a small market. Austin is a small city, a small market, but it's a huge music city. So understand the difference. It's like, yeah, Austin is a little city, but it's a huge music city. That's why the South by Southwest comes down every year, and it's one of the biggest music festivals in the world. They come straight to Austin, Texas. It grew into that because I was going to South by Southwest when there wasn't nothing. People weren't even going. But none of the rappers last night rapped over their vocals. And anybody that know me, y'all know, man, that's like one of the worst things. I hate when rappers rap over their vocals. It's like the worst. What is the second worst? The first would be if you up there lip syncing as a rapper. Because while you don't see that a lot, I've seen it. But Houston is notoriously known for everybody rapping over their vocals. So we are supposed to be like the leader, the foundation, the pioneering city, the example. We've had so many successful artists to come out this city, but in 2025, rappers out of Houston, Texas are still rapping over their vocal tracks. Now, I'll say this, I don't rap over my vocal track, but I'll leave an ad lib on certain songs. I'll leave a hook on certain songs. I'll leave a hook. But when it comes to verses, bars, you getting me. You getting me. That's my voice. You hearing me rap. Hook, maybe. On certain ones sometimes. But the majority of the time, it's me on the hook. It's me on the vocals. It's me. Whether you might mess up, whatever it is, it's live. All of those guys did that last night, man. And I just was thinking, an epiphany came over. I was like, wow, these dudes get it. But one of the greatest rap cities ever, we still rapping over vocals, man. And y'all have heard me talk about this type of stuff before. I just don't like it. Shout out to all those groups that performed last night. They did a great job. College of Hip Hop, man. If y'all don't know about the College of Hip Hop, man, these dudes, I've been rocking with these dudes for probably over a decade now. And man, they to me, they better now than they ever was. But that's not what we're talking about tonight. So we'll go more into the topic. I just wanted to shout out to Austin. Had a great time. Showed a lot of love as usual, man. I've probably done more shows in Austin than any other city outside of Houston. So it's always a pleasure to go out there. But I want to get on what we're talking about tonight. And that is I guess, the skill and the ability to choose and pick your battles wisely in life. Sometimes we get to this mindset where we just feel like, hey, man, I ain't gonna let nobody punk me. I ain't gonna let nobody disrespect me. I ain't gonna let nobody whatever. And while that should always be your mindset, don't get it mistaken at all. That should always be your mindset. Your manhood and your womanhood should never be negotiable. Never. There's never a time where true manhood, your principles as a man, your principles as a woman, that should never be up for negotiation. However, in war, in times of war, certain strategies have to be employed at certain times. So it may not be, although you could strike, it might not be the right time to strike, because everything has a season where it's maximized. The effects will be maximized. So if I'm planting a certain fruit or vegetable at the wrong time of year, it's not going to grow right. It's out of season. It's not certain fruits and stuff you don't even see at certain parts of the year because it's not in season. You got to wait till it's the time to grow and when they're going to be at their best. The same rule applies when it comes to picking your battles. There's certain things you can say, well, hey. One of my favorite movies of all time. This is probably one of my top 5 movies of all time. But matter of fact, hold on. I'll tell y'all the movie, but it's versions of it. The movie I was thinking about was Tombstone, but it's about Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday and all that. But the line I'm thinking about was not from Tombstone. Now that I think about it, it's from another Wyatt Earp movie called Wyatt Earp. And right after they killed Wyatt Earp's brother, you know, Wyatt Earp was ready to strike. He was ready to let's go get him. And Doc Holliday said, just wait. He said, just wait. Just wait for the right time. You know, he was trying to just give him some wisdom. Like, I know you mad. I know you hot right now. I know you emotional right now, but it's not the time right now. And when Wyatt took that advice, he waited it out, they strategized, and then when it was time to strike, they struck. See? So that's a principle in life that we have to employ, but it takes wisdom and patience to do that. And sometimes certain situations are not even worth the battle. When I was young, I felt like, if you come at me in any way, I got to come right back at you. I got to come. And it didn't matter if it was a big fish or a feeder fish. Y'all ever saw them feeder fish that they pour into the tank? That the big fish that's in the tank just swallow them up whole. I would go at the feeder fish the same way I would go at a whale. And you're using nuclear bombs to kill an ant. You don't need to use all that weaponry for something that small. So you weigh the situation. It's like, I ain't worried about that. That's like not even on the radar. But then sometimes, okay, I'll give you an example. Sometimes you're trying to do something and a fly lands on your arm. So when the fly first lands on your arm, you kind of just get back to doing what you're doing. A few seconds later, a few minutes later, the fly comes, he lands back on your arm. You're like, about the fourth time that fly lands on your arm, now you're not thinking about, oh, this is only a little fly. Now you like, okay, this fly is trying me because he keeps coming back like a little gnat or something. You ever had a gnat like this? You're like, watch out. Now you're gonna let him make it as long as he don't keep coming back. So by the time that gnat or that fly comes back, that fourth, now it's like, okay, I gotta kill him. It's like I gotta get rid of this fly, this gnat, because he's not gonna stop until I stop him. So in those situations, sometimes you gotta just smack them and just get them out the way real quick and move on. I try to give you a chance. But the timing lined up based on the circumstances. It's like, okay, you know what? The fly put me in a position where I had to do it. But there are other situations where the stakes are a little bit higher. The stakes are a little bit higher, and you have to have more control to say, okay, you know what? Okay, the stakes are a little higher, but it's still not something that I should be participating in because of what I stand to lose. See, that is growth. That is learning to pick your battles the right way. And I understand because we live in this world where people are dirty, man. Let's just call it for what it is. People are really, really evil. I'm saying dirty, but people are really evil. Really have evil hearts and evil motives. So it's a balance. It's a fine line that you have to walk when you are operating and navigating through a world that's full of so many um, sick-hearted people. You still got to know when to move on those situations. And every battle is not necessarily a battle in the sense that we view or just traditionally view what a battle is. We vision a battle as a fight. We vision a battle as some kind of conflict or altercation or, some type of confrontation where there's a winner, there's a loser, but, from a physical standpoint or even from a verbal standpoint. But sometimes a battle is just based on knowing when to fighting a battle is defined as knowing when to like just remove yourself, plain and simple. And that's a form of fighting a battle. Like, my form of fighting a battle in this situation might be to not even participate in the battle in the first place. See? Because people want you to battle them. It's like, yeah. I remember back in my younger days when I was battle rapping all the time. It's the battle rap. Love battle, man. I mean, love battle rap. I cut my teeth battle rap. That's where I built my name in the streets of battle rapping. This is long before I put a record out. This is long before a social media existed. Any of that, none of that existed. And I still had a name around the city of Houston because we would go to different schools. We would go to different clubs and talent shows, and we would just clash with other MCs. So you just smashing the hell out these MCs, your name starts to circulate. Like, oh, hey, you don't want to play with that boy. Hey, that boy right there. Ooh. And there was others like that around the city. I wasn't the only one. There were many like that around the city that were like, okay, yeah, well, and people say, oh boy, if this one and this one match up, boy, that'll be a good one. People, this is like they do now. It's just more out. And like I say, I would take on all comers. Didn't matter. But as I got older, a little older, and attrition, you do it so much to where even when you're winning, it's like a boxer. You're fighting so much that after a while, you just don't have the urge to want to fight all the time no more. I've been doing it so long, I just don't want to fight no more. You grow up, you mature a little bit to where you're like, I kind of want to transition more into the making songs, transition more into being in the music business, But what happens is your reputation is still out there. Your reputation is still circulating, and now you're viewed as a big dog in the game. And it's like the old West when you watch the old cowboy movies, the fast gunslinger. It's always somebody coming up trying to take down the fast gunslinger because that's going to give them a name. The same thing in rap, the same thing in streets and fighting, whatever it is, it's always somebody coming for your crown. So as I got older, I wasn't so quick to just be battling all the time. But the problem was, what happened was, everywhere I went, it was somebody trying to come at me. Some little young buck trying to come take me down. And I'm far removed out of that mindset. Not removed out of the mindset in terms of like, just letting somebody do me any kind of way, but moved out of the mindset in terms of like, if it was a different time in my life and somebody say, hey man, you so man, you know, I want let's battle, let's go. I'm like, whoa, instant, like, yeah, what's up? You know, just instantly, yeah. We could be in church. As soon as the preacher finish, I'm gonna get you. We might sneak out. Hold on, sneak out. I'm gonna get you out. We step outside the church. I get you outside the church. It's like anywhere. It was like on site for real. But then you get older, I turned into that guy that was like, man, you got it, man. You got it, man. You good? It's your. No, man, I want to. Hey, man, you got it, bro. And they would be mad. Oh, you must be scared. I ain't scared. But the true reality is, I'm still me. And the truer reality is, I know you have zero chance. No chance. It's just, I'm just not there no more. That you're me 10 years ago. So I respect it because I never was disrespectful. I would look at him and like, I kind of laugh like, because, okay, you know, I used to be just like you, man. I was hungry. I challenged some dudes. I was kind of in that same vein. So I relate. I tried to battle a bunch of, I ain't gonna say a bunch. I've tried to battle a few mainstream, well-known rappers in my time, just trying to battle them. Just like them prove I'm a better rapper than you. And they were just like me now. Like, nah, you got it. But I remember one time I was at this show, right? I was going to see some other cats perform, some friends of mine perform, right? So I'm just in the crowd, just chilling. I'm just in the crowd, just watching the show, minding my business. I was one deep by myself. And this guy walks up to me and he spoke. And I didn't know who the guy was. I didn't remember the guy, but he walked up and he spoke. And I was like, hey, you know, what's going on, you know? He's like, yeah, man, I'm such and such. You know, the way he was introducing himself, I knew he was a rapper. As y'all hit that like button, I see y'all ain't here. We live behind on them likes, but if y'all haven't hit the like, click it now. But I knew the guy was a rapper by the way he introduced himself. Then he reminded me, he said, yeah, man, we battled back in the days and such and such and such and such. He say, yeah, you got me that day, but you can't F with me now. Told me just like that, right? So I smiled and laughed just like I did now, because that's the first emotion that came into me. It wasn't anger, it wasn't confusion, it was like just laughter, you know. So normally that's the part where I go, okay, well, let's see. You know, back in the days, I'd have been like, well, let's see. But what I told him was, I said, okay, it is what it is. So he kind of stood there for a second, confused. I was like, all right, good to see you. And he walked on out. But it was funny because what he didn't understand, what his mindset was that at the time when I beat him in the battle, he acknowledged in the present that, okay, you were better than me then. But he was also stating in the present, telling me that I'm not better than him now. And of course, that's based on his own confidence to say, he's improved. He's improved his skills, which I can't deny. Okay, all right, hey man, I would never doubt that. I'm sure you have. But what happens when people do that, what they don't factor in is that my skills have improved too, unless I stopped. If I would have stopped, if I would have retired the day or the week after me and him battled way back in the days, then he might have me. But I didn't stop. So whatever I did to him back then, whatever I said back then, it would be 10 times worse at the time he confronted me in the current, because I knew I'm 10 times, 20 times better than I was back whenever I beat him then. He didn't factor that. He's just looking at his skill. So lesson of the day is always work to improve yourself, but you should always work to improve your skills and make yourself better with the thought in mind of what everybody else is doing to improve. So it's not about focusing just on your own skill. It's about tuning in to everybody else's. Because it would have been a foolish move. It would have been worse. Because he's only thinking about himself. But the point is, I was just like, nah, I'm not tripping on battling you no more. So we take that into life, we cross that over into life. The principles are the same. I was watching Happy Days one time, right? I love Happy Days. Some of y'all might not be old enough to even remember or know what Happy Days is. If you're old enough to remember Happy Days, give me like a thumbs up or something. Give me a thumbs up if you're old enough to remember the TV show Happy Days, right? So y'all know who the Fonz is, right? So the Fonz was like the coolest dude, toughest dude. You know, nobody could do nothing with the Fonz. The Fonz had like magic powers. He could hit the wall and the light would come on. You know, he could snap his fingers and all the girls would come. He could hit the jukebox and the music would start. He was amazing. This dude was incredible. Nobody could outfight him. You couldn't beat the Fonz doing nothing. He was amazing. Reminds me a lot of myself. No, I'm just playing. But on one episode, some dude came around and he was trying to fight. He wanted to fight the Fonz, and the Fonz didn't understand why. It's like, what do you want to fight me for? Come to find out, the Fonz had beat him up when they was like in the 3rd grade or something. Like in the 3rd grade, and the Fonz had beat the guy up, and he comes back now 25 years later wanting to fight. And Fonz like, man, come on, man, I'm a professional man. I'm so far removed from that. And he just kept picking and kept picking and kept picking. Fonz was steady walk away, like, hey man, watch out, man, chill out, man. To finally, he put his hands on him. I think he karate kicked the Fonz or something like that. And that's on. Even though the Fonz didn't even fight him then, he kind of like just checked him in a different way. But the point is, people will push your buttons, man. They will push your buttons until sometimes they put you in a position where you have to defend yourself, where you have to fight, you have to defend yourself. Because what happens is people will pick and pick and pick and pick. And mature people, immature people do all that silly picking and stupid crap. You know, you're immature when you act like that. But mature people will be like, I disregard that. I don't even acknowledge it. I don't even acknowledge immaturity. But sometimes people are taken to a point where it's like, man, this cat would not stop. And you got to pull your belt off. I saw a good example of that last night, man. Oh my gosh, I saw a good example of that last night. Oh, masterful example. I'm not going to say what I saw, but because I don't want to give the other cat no shine, but it was masterful. That's all I'm going to say. It was, but the point is, people will push you to a point where at some point you got to battle. But even when you decide to enter into the battle or the war, you still have to be wise and strategic in the way you do it. You don't go in overly emotional. It's best to not go in emotional at all. The control over your emotions is the thing that can and possibly will contribute to your victory outside of preparation. See, when you're overly emotional, you'll say anything. You'll do something. You'll crash out. You'll do something just retarded. But when you process, when you think, even in your madness, even in your anger, you process and you think, and you strategize, you formulate, then you stand a better chance of getting the right result. So even when the time when you have to enter into the battle, it's a way to do it. It's a way to do everything, to do it the right way, to work to your benefit. It's a lot of other things that I could say on this topic, but in certain situations, it's even when I'm giving game, it's not even good to give up all my knowledge on certain things. But what I saw last night was masterful. I loved it. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Maybe one of y'all can guess in the chat. And if you guess it right, I'll just smile. But I don't want to bring, because I'm not a messy person. So if I see something and I feel like what I might say could add more fuel to it, I'm not going to say it. Because messy people are some of the worst people on the planet. People who try to create controversy and sabotage and slap. I don't deal with that. You are among the scum of the earth when you move like that. So when I see those type of people get dealt with, I celebrate. I rejoice because you're doing it for whatever reason you're doing it for. Some people in the social media world, of course, I made a video about this the other day, but you're doing it just for views and clout. But it's a horrible, horrible trait to have, because if you have the audacity to do it on public forums, then that's definitely who you are outside of a public forum. That's who you are. Because there are people who might be messy in real life, but they're not going to take the mess from real life onto social media. You got a problem. I'm going to make a YouTube video and I'm going to stay away from people like that. Nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Stay away from me. But think about people in the workplace, right? The people in the workplace, There may be somebody messing with you, or a particular manager, supervisor, and you coming home every day, you telling your husband, this lady just always bothers me, and I'm just and if you don't have nobody that can kind of reel you in and say, okay, well, what is she doing? What is she saying? Okay, now how did that affect? Is it just words? Yeah, she's always passing by me. Okay, if it's not directly affecting you and your job, and they can't do, you have to teach people and show people how to not let certain things affect them and bother them. Some people are overly sensitive to insignificant things, just little words picking at them, and they take that so deep to heart when it has no bearing on the results of your success or whatever, your failure, whatever. So people have to be taught, hey man, that ain't nothing, man. It's like when you see people who, I've talked about this before a while back, because I was talking about certain rappers who, they up here, they up. Athletes too. Certain famous people that are up, and they be in the comment section arguing with people in the comment section that they are way, way, way more successful than. So you're not picking your back. Why are you arguing with some cat that you don't even know, don't even have a profile picture on their picture? They said something, your music has always been garbage. And you on there going back and forth with them, cussing and arguing with. Got to grow up. Hey man, y'all hit that like button, man. Like button, like button. Like button, like button. That's what they yelling. We have to control our emotions. That is one of the keys to success in life. Part of controlling your emotions is knowing that, bruh, everything is not going to go perfectly your way in life. You're going to have a lot of setbacks, failures, mishaps, losses, rejections. It's going to happen. I don't care if you are a billionaire or a bum. The bum definitely knows. He's like, hey, I'm a bum. But I don't care if you're a billionaire. Things don't go your way all the time. So how you manage and deal with the things that don't go your way determine your success. Determine, like they say, your attitude determines your altitude. So the how high you go is based on your mentality. So the prisons are filled up with people who couldn't control their emotions. People have taken great losses. People that are not even in prison, they might not have crashed all the way out, but they crashed out on a lower level, which was still a high enough level to where you clicked on the lady who was bothering you at the job that I was just talking about. Now you lost your job. You had a good paying job, and you let something so stupid take you out your mind frame, and you lost your job. You went to the school to have a conversation about your child who was acting bad and being disciplined in school, and instead of hearing it out, you went in there and cussed out the teacher. And my baby ain't my baby. Your baby is crazy. Quit thinking your children don't do no wrong. Quit thinking your children are angelic. If you have great children, beautiful. You are one of the blessed ones. But the other 95% of the population, them children be doing stuff. So you got to hear people out. And if you take the time to hear people out, you can tell if the teacher is bothering them, because children come home and lie. Well, Miss Johnson don't like me. She's and they tell their side, and you did it to my baby. Like, nah, but you don't know. You get there and you find out what your baby did was Now you went there and slapped the teacher. Oh man, we gotta be wise in how we move and how we think, what we say, how we say it. All right, y'all. Let me see what y'all talking about. See what y'all talking about, man. I'm gonna go backwards a little bit because ain't nothing jumping out at me. Y'all ain't even on topic. Let me see. Man, y'all ain't even on topic. Diego say it was some real life lessons on them old school shows. Yeah, yeah. Connie says, I think I saw what you saw for the last 2 or 3 days. If you know, you know. Hmm. All right, man. Y'all not really on topic tonight. Sometimes what happens is there are certain topics that I might cover that may not be, I guess, as popping. It's not as interesting, but the game that's in it is very valuable. So hopefully y'all will come back if the moment presents itself to kind of look at this video and delve back into it to kind of like extract what I'm telling y'all if you live through it, if you walk through it, you know. Cause this one might be y'all might not be interested in this one tonight. It's okay. Because like I say, it goes back to what I was saying. You can't be emotional behind this. But y'all into talking about Dave Chappelle and all kind of stuff. So man, you know what? I appreciate y'all. I got number love. And I will catch y'all later on. Love, peace, and hair grease. All right.